yo, yo. Yo, yo. I hear my woman upstairs saying yo. She knows what time it is. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Where Glacier's at. Everything in phase 1 is already solidified. Getting the terahash from the KA3 miners.
Dude is just wild looking. He don't even look real.
It's his eyebrows, dude.
I can't remember what I sent him. $15 in fucking AVAX to the 99.
And this is a bit of alpha here at the start of the AMA. Maybe I need a name change. Maybe I need something more serious, like Serious Hillbilly. What about that?
We should actually just launch shit coins from the treasury and just feed the treasury with it.
Wow, Bitcoin again, 20,300.
That's what I said.
I said it couldn't happen, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's how it felt when I was working at FedEx. How's work going? It's great. Fucking crying on the inside. And I remember getting in when SnowShare was 300, and then I sold it 600.
I will take regularly scheduled AMAs celebrating Bitcoin over 3 a.m. AMAs after bank run.
Win Mammoth, win Mammoth, win Mammoth, win Mammoth, win Mammoth, win Mammoth. My God.
And I hate cats. I do. I'm sorry for all the cat lovers, but I hate cats. Yeah, let's AVAX, man. They must have knew the Tusk Talk was Friday, huh? Everybody loading up on AVAX because of Tusk Talk Fridays. Is that what it is? They think I have some alpha for AVAX. A couple ways that you can be a better person right now today. Walk an old lady across the street, you know? Oh, there it is. Okay, we're on. All right. Yeah, so anyway, that is... Can you hear me, Dylan?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, my Discord's doing this thing where it doesn't put the green ring around my thing when I talk. All right, so this is... looks like the chat's a little messed up. I think maybe it is set to black on the text. But the chat would go normally where you see there. But that's okay. It's good to get the intro level out so that I can get all the kinks out here on this new overlay that has been built by Tampa. I think it looks fantastic, and I think it's gonna do really good things for Glacier when we go live there. I also have a couple different ones where it's just me. I have one for 4cam for when the entire team gets on. But yeah, we have the intro video and. I'm very happy with it. I think it looks amazing. So I just wanted to get it out there today just to test it out. But yeah, in the future, you do not have to mute Walter. I guess I could have called that for you and let you know. But here we are. It is Tusk Talk Friday, number 40. In 12 more of these, it would be a full year of Tusk Talk Fridays.
11 more.
Is it 51 weeks or 52?
It's 52 weeks, but we skipped a week.
Well, either way, yeah. How's everybody doing? We've got some cool things to announce and talk about, more so on the Walrus Anglers Club and the recent changes for Frozen Walrus. So if you have a question, be sure to put it in the chat so that we can answer it and see what's going on. I do want to change my background for when we go live with Glacier. I want to put something a lot more cyberpunk-esque or retro and try and get a feel for it. But either way, we're just getting the normal setup. Of course, I do have a new Glacier Fi YouTube that you can go ahead and subscribe to that we'll be doing the AMAs to keep it separate. And yeah, so let's get into it. A couple housekeeping things is I will be on an AMA on Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern with LB and Nikki to talk about Glacier and to talk about our plans to integrate Grape, of course, and, talk with LB about everything. So if you're interested in that, I did make an announcement on it. But I think the biggest announcement to talk about for Frozen Walrus, just to kind of kick things off, again, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in. Yeah, so the big thing was that we started changing some of the numbers around for X Walrus and the minting. I do want to make a video. My fiance's sick, so I was unable to kind of commit to anything today. But I will do something this weekend, hopefully. But I want to make a new video about the kind of overall ecosystem of Frozen Walrus. What I see as potentially what the future holds for it and kind of the tokens, and explaining it to someone that may not have known about our tokens and has recently found out, and kind of looking at the ecosystem like, how do I even get into this? I think that'll help for anybody that needs access to that information. I'm going to go ahead and give it to you guys in video format. But as for the recent changes, we changed the actual mint price raise per mint from 2.5% to 10%. And so in layman terms, what it means is that X Walrus mint price will continue to go up, meaning it costs more Walrus. And over time, it will continue to scale up and up and up. It'll be the same logarithmic scale where, let me start here because I'm mirrored, and it'll go up and then kind of flatten out at the top, kind of like we've been seeing. But it'll eventually, it just keeps raising. And so what I want to eventually happen here is that once we actually get revenue from the miners, which is something that we get to talk about today, and we also get some of the stuff from Glacier whenever we get Glacier and start investing in our own protocol for Glacier, and we get that real revenue from trade fees for whatever we vote on, I want to use that revenue to pretty much generate some type of small-scale farm for users, or some type of redemption rate for users where you can actually redeem Walrus at certain periods of the month for $1. Maybe it's more impactful to buy back and burn Walrus. Maybe it's more impactful to allow X Walrus to farm so that Walrus is sought after to convert to X Walrus, and then X Walrus in turn makes it more expensive, less Walrus in the ecosystem continually rising to really combat the supply constantly. And then just allow this loop to continue where we give real revenue back to holders. And with these ecosystem tokens, everything rises. And that's the kind of the goal of what we're trying to build. So the first step was increasing the mint rate for X Walrus. Today, I'll be changing the burn, which will go to 35%. So currently it's 25%, meaning if you put one Walrus in, 0.25 Walrus is burned, and the other 0.75% is given to various reward structures. But now I'm going to change it to 35%. We'll be burning Walrus, and 10% still going to the lottery. And then I'll also be reducing the Walrus share farm, and I think it's going to be interesting to see. But what I'm going to be essentially doing is that more Walrus is going to be going into the X Walrus contract, and more Walrus will be burned, but less Walrus will be coming back out. And so the thing is that I want to see is pretty much a short squeeze occur, that if there's any demand on our tokens, Walrus can really skyrocket up and put us back into a healthy system. And then these continuous loops of driving real revenue back into the platform allows users to start engaging in the platform in a healthier manner. It's not so sentiment based. Sure, maybe Walrus, prints 2 or 3 times and then doesn't print for another 10 times. Cool. We get to build bigger revenue for those 10 days, 11 days, 12 days, a month, whatever it is. And the whole time people are saying, well, I better get X Walrus for this next phase of revenue so that I can earn the most that I can. And then they can use their X Walrus. And so the only thing I don't really have to combat is X Walrus continually rising, and as in like the supply. And so hopefully the detonator is able to, whenever Glacier LP comes out, I think it's going to be a very volatile asset for quite some time. So hopefully the detonator, as a service that we want to bring in for X Walrus USDC pairing, will help combat some of the supply issues that we see. But of course, it will always be an ever increasing price tag. So it should eventually slope off. But I do want to add more burn mechanics to kind of get X Walrus out of the ecosystem as well. But either way, we're going to find some really impactful ways and try and use, what little revenue we start with and really make it impactful to the ecosystem at large, so that you, the holders, of course, benefit from it. And hopefully, again, this continuous loop not only manages the hyperinflationary aspect, but also, makes a lot more ways to strategize the entire ecosystem. And so I know that's a lot, so I apologize. But This is kind of where things are going, and the moving pieces means there's no current meta to it, so nobody knows what the best thing is going to be. And I like that. I like that people have to learn and understand a new concept that's not just a tune fork, and hopefully it brings value and speculation back into our tokens, which is good for you all as holders. So that's kind of the goal right now. Hopefully you guys like it. If you have suggestions on what to do with the real revenue to drive price action into our tokens, be sure to shout it out so that we can start thinking and brainstorming the best course of action. But it's kind of what I'm thinking of. Let me sip the baby water. What'd you guys think about that intro video? Tampa did great on it. The only thing is that on OBS, I can't hear the video. So it goes completely silent for me for those 2 minutes, but I wish I could hear it. The only way I can hear it is if I watch it on YouTube. So I'm going to let you all get some questions in over that. And just a brief announcement to, again, bring a little bit of more awareness, if there wasn't already, is that we are, and honestly, it doesn't matter if you donate to the dev wallet and we make one big donation, or you just donate yourself. I don't care how you do it. If you have some money, it looks like they've collected about 1.2 million, but I can guarantee that won't make it far. So anything we can do to help. This is those one times at the end of my AMAs we can actually do something. So I'll be throwing up as much as I can personally, and then of course the 1,000 from the treasury and dev wallet that was already in there, and then anything else we can throw for this earthquake fund. I linked the tweet from Luigi. It is Avalanche themselves doing it. You can look into it. I'm going to trust that Avalanche is going to use these funds to actually help, because there's a very large Turkish community for Avalanche specifically, if you didn't know. So I'm sure a lot of people that are native to AVAX are actually caught up in this. So anything we can help, then I want to do it. So I put it out there. Again, you can donate through our link, or just go straight to them. And it looks like they're accepting AVAX, USDC, USDT. Any of those stable coins or L1 assets, I'm assuming they'll be able to liquidate and move over. Let's go, Brandon. He says, I'm catching off guard, but it's kind of a good question. Lame Hillbilly, do you regret launching Narwhal? In some circumstances, I do. When Tune Forks were kind of going with the same thing, I thought a multi-peg system would really work well, because we were doing really well. And in hindsight, doing well in one moment in a Tune Fork and a hyperinflationary ecosystem does not mean you'll be doing well shortly after. And with everything being so sentiment-driven, I think I was a bit short-sighted. And, of course, I think most people would have made the same mistake. But either way, I'm happy that we have it, because I think we can do something with it. But I think that the ecosystem could repair better without it. But either way, if I need to, I'll find, maybe I'll allow certain amounts of Narwhal to purchase an amount of Glacier, and try and get even more off of there, and eventually lead up to getting 100% of the revenue, or 100% of the Narwhal off the ecosystem, and then I can determine if I want to scrap it or do something else with it. But yeah, it's a good question, Brando, and some days I do. Other days I'm excited because there's more we can do with the ecosystem, but either way, I would say it causes more headache than it helps right now. Next is, did we get any questions specifically about Frozen Walrus? Dylan?
Yes. Valence wants to know, X-Walrus hasn't changed yet, right?
The mint rate has went up, just the mint rate price, but the burn rate on the Walrus is still the same. But the drip rate for the Walrus share farm is still the same.
Another Narwhal question from Need Walrus. Any plan to do X Narwhal, or allow the use of Narwhal to mint X Walrus, or is that uniquely a Walrus thing?
I don't think it's uniquely a Walrus thing. I think that it would take a separate contract to do the same thing that we're currently doing. I don't know yet. I'd have to ask the capabilities, but I'm pretty sure the functionality would not allow, because right now there's only one input for the type of currency that can go in, and that's Walrus. And we'd have to redeploy the same contract to do the same thing. So I'd have to ask Mark. I'm assuming it's not impossible, of course, but we'd have to think long and hard about kind of the deal of that. I think it would be cool. to do that actually, and just try and make it. If X Walrus is this driver of the ecosystem that allows revenue from the platform to come back to users, it makes sense to allow Narwhal to also be converted, and it also builds a use case that we can kind of nix Narwhal if needed by owning so much of the supply.
All right, and the rest of these are Crypto Gamer. In your announcement earlier, you said WShare will be the only way to get Walrus. Could you elaborate on that?
Well, currently there's a Walrus share farm to earn more Walrus, and then also there's going to be a boardroom that only takes Walrus share. And so if Walrus is not printing, of course you can use Walrus share LP to earn Walrus. But I think the biggest thing will be the boardroom that earns Walrus. So whenever we get to a point of X Walrus having all this utility, I think that we'll revisit if we want to keep the Walrus share farm and what can we do with that Walrus that's currently locked in the contract. Is there something we can do that's better than giving it back out? Is it something that we could collateralize or do something entirely different with? And again, leave the main driver of Walrus share being in the boardroom. But I kind of like it as it is now because it does give some utility to Walrus share while we wait. So I won't be making any fast changes on that. But that's what I meant, is that Walrus share is the only way to actually gain new Walrus printed. Not current Walrus, which technically it can right now, but newly minted Walrus.
All right, everything else was Glacier, so if you want to go on.
Yeah, sorry. I was taking a drink, taking a breath. I don't have to do everything right now, Sometimes I can chill. Yeah, so sorry, I took a hit off of that. Shit hit my lungs. Yeah, so the next thing would be probably the Walrus Anglers Club miners. So the Walrus Anglers Club miners have came in, not all of them, but we do have some stood up and running. And again, what you're seeing from, make sure that I don't say anything I wasn't supposed to. I'm going to go to Sean's announcement because we agreed on this earlier today. I want to make sure I don't go off of it. So yeah, we have 6 KA3s and 3 K7s stood up. And so I just wanted to make some clarifications on what he means by the transparency part, the second paragraph, is that we got hit with a fee for a stand-up that we didn't think was going to be as steep as it was, but it was pretty steep. And so to be able to pay that without putting any upfront money, Zara from Ace Miners was absolutely awesome and allowed us to use our miners to mine that off. So essentially, we're going to be paying from the miners for the next month, and we'll pay that charge off, and then we'll be, cozy and earning off of our rewards. And so the next piece is that what are we going to be doing with this compounding? The main thing we're going to do is try and afford as many K7s as we can to add to our current hash rate. And again, this is at no cost to you all, other than the 6 months that we're compounding. But that whatever K7s we can get and stand up before we go live will be increase the hash rate and be, at that designated hash rate that we wanted to give you all, if not more. We'll have to see how the 6 months go, but still, as our projections look like, if we can get all the KA3s plus the K7s, we're somewhere between the 25,000 to 27,000 range a month. So we can actually get a lot of miners over that over the next 6 months, hopefully, and start allowing you all to earn as big as possible, which is going to be great. Hopefully, we come out the gate and are able to give out some fat rewards to everybody, and then look to gear up to do another mint to allow other people to get involved. But that's kind of where we're at with Walrus Anglers Club. I'm assuming that Sean, as soon as he gets word that we're getting the other KA3 stood up, we're going to be ready to go, and we'll make that announcement again. Good question, Need Walrus. Do we have a rough idea for how long after Glacier launch it will be before Narwhal is pegged to it? Will it be pretty immediate, or will we have to wait for Glacier to stabilize. Not only do I want Glacier to stabilize, but Jumpman's going to be working on the front end, and that would be a full redeployment of the boardroom contract, the treasury contract for Narwhal. So it's just we gotta prioritize where we can. The first week is gonna be pretty intense on Glacier, doing some bug fixes and everything else. So I don't want to shoot myself in the foot and be like, it's definitely gonna be the first week. We're gonna do it like shortly after, probably within 2 weeks, and then we'll make that switch over. Win picks of miners. I'm sure we can actually probably get some now. I don't know how accessible we are to that, but I can let you know as soon as we do it. We can get verification, actually, Brando. To be clear, we can get clarification and well, I guess more proof than anything. I'll send Sean a message right now for a reminder. But yeah, I'll send it as soon as I get it. Hopefully we get a picture. That'd be cool. Yeah, but that's pretty exciting. I'm pretty happy that we're starting to see the miners come in, and that we're able to start earning off of them, and you guys are able to see this platform in action. Speaking of that, we got our first payout from Hydro Wells, our 2 that obviously I gave away 8, but we have 2 in the treasury still, and they earned $60 in Bitcoin, so maybe it was 120. But either way, hey, that's revenue, and we don't know how big it's gonna get. Oh, is it? I haven't checked the Walrus Angler Club stats, so let me check it out because I like looking at this. Didn't you buy a bunch off the floor for like 5.5, JC? Yep, it is 15. What is it on? Sorry, I'm just checking everything out. I had this pulled up. Let's see. No, actually, the floor price is 8.9. It is through NF Trade, though. We are getting increased volume, though. 17 sales on there. But these aren't really trading NFTs, too. They're not a lot of speculation. They're going to be based on the value of the miners behind them. So, let's see what happens. Yeah, Dylan turned off Walter. Just cut him off by the legs, man. We usually have him. We can have him playing in the background. Bum, 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 bum. Be louder. Jesus. No, I'm kidding. It's not that bad. Turn him down.
Turned it down before I turned it back on.
Yeah, so Mark.
Smart.
I think you said Mark.
I've got more questions if you want them.
Yeah, ask me some questions.
All right, Sub-Zero, a couple of Glacier questions. What will be the vesting lock term options for V Glacier?
So we're determining right now if we want to do a 4-year lock as a max, or if we want to do a 1-year lock as a max. But I think I'm leaning more towards 4. Just that's pretty much like a perma lock in DeFi standards, and they're sellable, of course. So it's not like you're actually locked. There's always a secondary market. But yeah, that's kind of how we're thinking. You will have a calendar on the page where you can select the date, and it does that equation that I posted in here last week, where it equals out to how much V Glacier you get. Again, 4 years would be a max, which would give you 100 Glacier to 100 V Glacier. And again, if you only did it for 1 year, it would be 100 Glacier to 25 V Glacier. So hopefully that answers.
All right, hold on just a second.
Man, it sucks that. Let me see if I can fix this chat real quick. Maybe there's like a,
You're gonna shut the stream down.
Oh, relax. Relax. Jesus, here we go. I'm getting somewhere. Collect those questions.
I've got them. I've got plenty.
Well, ask them.
You said give me a second. What will be the non-frozen walrus pools upon launch?
There's going to be a lot. There's going to be as many as we can get as far as like protocol support. But of course, the main pairs like GMX, Stargate, AVAX, BTCB, WETH, USDC, USDC.E, USDT. We're going to have plenty. We're going to have, over 12 to 15.
And how will the Glacier team utilize bribes and missions to promote liquidity for common pairs on AVAX?
So if you're speaking more like AVAX, USDC, or like some of the more popular pairs that don't have a partnership, like a partner backing or a protocol behind it, we, the team, will be investing like all of our team. It'll be locked almost entirely. And it'll be used to vote for those kind of pairs, like the Glacier pairing specifically, the AVAX, the BTCB pairing, so that we can always make those incentivized for users. And of course, the treasury would rake in those fees and the team would rake in those fees. And that's our main revenue source as the actual team is through that. So that's realistically how we'll be doing it. But other protocols can obviously choose not to only just boost their protocol, but they can also boost some of the higher traded pairs like the USDCs and the AVAXs and the BTCBs. So that will already be pretty incentivized. What else you got?
All right. And when Glacier launches, will farms still be paid in Walrus share, or that is bought and distributed, or in the tokens that are collected from fees directly?
So I think I kind of understand what you're trying to say, but just to explain it, once Glacier goes live, I'll be stopping Walrus share emissions. And so what happens after that is that all liquidity is going to be incentivized by Glacier. And as long as the community is voting for it and the protocol is voting for it, and we continue to try and increase our position of governance, we'll always have some level of engagement into our LP pairings. And it'll be more impactful probably than Walrus share emissions as it stands. So there will be no more Walrus share emissions.
Right. And the rack. Once Glacier launched, I suppose the Narwhal YUSD LP will need to be broken and Narwhal will be paired with Glacier for a new LP. This can make Narwhal extremely volatile short term. Is there a step-by-step plan for the transition?
I mean, what I'd like to do, and hopefully I can get it done, is get an LP swapper where you can invest the LP and it gives you the new LP. But realistically, the volatility would be kind of fun.
I agree.
And like it would be another gamification on the entire process. And so that seems to me like one of the best things, so that a new price can be brought in. There's pumps, there's dumps. It's a more volatile asset. There's barely any out there. And it's definitely not like Walrus. So, but yeah, like JC's saying, he says we need to get together and make sure we vote for the same pools. It's very impactful if we all do that. And so we'll be making like weekly announcements like, hey, this is what we're voting on. This is the size of our Glacier bag this week with the Frozen Walrus Treasury. And then the next week we'll do the same thing and continue to try and incentivize it with our community members. And that will really help. You know, we may not be the most impactful pair on the platform, but as long as we are a lucrative pair, you can actually see a lot of incentivized liquidity on there.
All right, and that's all I've got so far. Anybody else got questions? Want to come up, talk? GDB's burning that midnight oil. I see him on his gigantic iPad.
Johnny Glacier wants to do 5 minutes to stand up. Good luck, man. It's a tough crowd out here.
Temporal Ice, do you want to reach out to Colony? He posted a link up.
Do
top.
they have a token?
We would love that, Crypto Gamer. If we can get KDA on AVAX, that would very much
Yeah.
go on Glacier
It's actually
immediately.
one of my goals is to reach out to Kadena team. I hear that they're pretty open to talking with people and potentially get some of the getting an investment from them to put early liquidity on the Kadena token and try and work out maybe with a couple of the bridge platforms like Stargate about getting Kadena bridgeable to AVAX would be fantastic. Because I think Stargate definitely has the capability. They're freaking huge, and they need people to integrate swapping on the site. So if we can build or bridging on the site, so if we can build natively, which is what they're offering right now, to put that bridge Stargate on our site, and they allow Kadena to be bridged, would be a match made in heaven.
Well, there you go. Tell Stargate that they can get a grant to bridge KDA over to AVAX probably. And then we have the end step for it as well.
Yeah, so I think that we can make something happen there. I would love to see that. It would be awesome. That would be an extremely impactful pair. Plus, they would probably, I don't know if they'd get involved in bribing, but they may give us a grant to do bribes for that pair specifically. But yeah, I think that'd be a really cool pair, especially because we could just airdrop you all Kadena.
GDB has his hand up.
GDB? The GDB2?
The one and only. Well, the second of the one and only.
Did you invite him?
I sure can.
Were you expecting me to do that?
Kinda, yeah.
Jesus.
Yo.
GDB.
What's up, man?
Well, I just want to say, right, the past, how many months has it been?
Yeah, it's been
6.
Were you there for this? Were you there for the Snow and Fox AMAs?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, then it's been a very long time because we're
crazy.
Yeah, it's been over a year, almost.
Yeah, I would say it's been a blast, but the past few months has been a bit of a drought. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
it's been slow.
It's been a good time, regardless. It's been a great time. And that's all I've got to say. I've got no questions. I'm just here to vibe out.
Yeah,
just
man.
Finish work. I'm just trying to chill. All right.
Hey, just chill out then and listen to the sound of my voice, and we'll keep you relaxed.
Yeah. Okay, I appreciate that.
All right, brother. We'll see you. Been so long since we had somebody come from the audience. Damn. Yeah, it's gonna be cool when Glacier launches and Frozen Walrus gets a little busier with revenue and there's more engagement in the AMAs. Although it's amazing to have our normies here and continue building this deep relationship with everybody. But it's always fun to see 100, 200 people. If I can get an AMA with over 1,000 people, I'll know that I made it. That'd be crazy. I don't know how I'd handle that. By talking my ass off. That'd be how.
We had over 100 a couple of times. Saint wants to know, how was the miner set up? Were there any unforeseen issues?
Just the stand-up cost. Everything else was handled by the company that we used. The mining facility that we're using, they stood it up. They said, "Hey, here's the charge," and all we have to do now is provide them the Kadena wallet. And then the same thing for the K7s, which I'm using the Frozen Walrus email to do. And then we'll be, giving you all the live feed to that and hopefully integrate it into a dashboard eventually. Yeah, GDB, we've had like, I think a max of like 130 in one AMA.
Yeah. It was like 127, 128. I can go back and look.
Yeah, it was the peak. Valens, I appreciate the commitment. I do really want to start working on building the YouTube out. So I think it's going to require less content specific to Frozen Walrus and more content focused on what I'm good at, which is education. I really, really want to do that. It's just really hard to make that commitment. But like I'm losing subscribers because like I'm just not publishing any kind of information other than like Frozen Walrus AMAs. And I think that if I could just get like some people that know YouTube a little bit better for SEOs and some of the other content out that I want, maybe even do YouTube shorts, that I can build a following, which only helps Frozen Walrus, honestly. That, you know, people would obviously come here. I wouldn't have any kind of official Discord for just my YouTube. And then, you know, do what we do. But yeah, I'm heavy on trying to build the YouTube because I do like creating content. It's a bit of an escape for me from the stressors that come with this job. What else, Dylan? We got any new questions?
I think that is it. Did I miss a question, guys?
Yeah, you missed one. I see one.
Oh, will small new protocols on the scene get returns for their LP when they incentivize it with their tiny treasuries and communities, or realistically will things be fairly skewed towards the big players and investors?
Like everything DeFi, obviously bigger players are going to get bigger support. But what you have to realize is if there's not a lot of people voting on your pairs, then it's kind of almost a blessing in disguise from what I've seen that there's very high APRs for people that aren't getting involved. And if there's not deep liquidity and Glacier holds up on price, the APRs are actually going to be skewed pretty hard. So even if we only get 3% of the emissions or even less, but there's only like 150K in there as comparatively to like a 3 to 10 mil AVAX pairing, our APRs will still be, you know, obviously higher than those, obviously for the volatility, but also that results in some, you know, volatile pairs that cause more trade fees. They go back in your pocket if you vote for one of our pairings. But Walrus, there's no way around. Bigger protocols are going to do better as far as governance and bribing. You know, it's just part of the process of DeFi. That's kind of how the way the world works. That dude looks like a fucking serial killer because he plays one in that one movie. Will Walrus farms be paid out in Glacier tokens, or will the Glacier be sold for something like Walrus Share or X Walrus? So whenever you farm on the website, you will earn Glacier. That is how all of the LPs are incentivized. Hell yeah, temporize. Yeah, I don't know what kind of content would be a niche that I could feel. I mean, there's a lot of people that cover like moonshot cryptos. Maybe I should be like an anti one where I see like what the popular projects that YouTubers are talking about and then talk shit about those projects, and how it's gonna lose all your money. I feel like that's good.
Up a can of worms.
Yeah, I feel like it's gonna cause so much drama though, but it would be funny. Yeah, what about them node things? It's me and LB are talking about it. It's just a process, guys. It takes a lot of, it takes a very good day for me to have to dig in and do all the math on that. Yeah, how many
GDB's questions?
Where did he ask?
What about them node things?
That's what I just answered. The nodes.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa, if you didn't know, has accepted a job to help me develop and make, obviously, overlays and help with editing for promotional videos for Glacier and Frozen Walrus, because I think he's really good at it. And, you know, it's something that he likes doing, so I'm very happy to bring some community members on to help out. So hopefully the quality continues to go up. He can kind of help me as an old man in YouTube and try and develop a style and engage more users onto the platform. JC, we've talked about it. Obviously, proof of stake nodes are much less. They are more stable, and they require more overhead but it's something that we could look into. I would love to have like a small DeFi bag where we invest into things like Glacier. I think it would be awesome to use some of that revenue to involve ourselves in Glacier and the platform. Obviously, if you believe in the protocol and me, then we expect Glacier to do well. And I think being an early investor from Walrus Anglers Club could be very beneficial. Is there any? That's a good question, John. Are there any DeFi projects on AVAX you're hyped about outside of your ecosystem? Obviously, I haven't been watching a ton of new projects launching on AVAX. It's been kind of stale water. But Savvy DeFi is, I think, exciting as far as like financial tools. There's a lot of games being developed on AVAX right now that I think that we're going to start seeing. Dylan, who was that one that developed GTA 6 or was working on GTA 6 that might come on board?
Take-Two Gaming.
But did we know that was actually what they announced?
No, they're a publishing company for video games that are extremely interested in gaming NFTs, and there's a new partnership coming out which starts with a T. So people are speculating that it could be GTA 6, the publisher for GTA 6, which would be absolutely insane.
JC, very good question. How about real world assets like real estate or vacation rentals? So I've talked about this before, and you being more into the law than me, maybe you could tell me something I don't know. But to me, it feels like a legal nightmare to try and move funds around, especially on a CPA aspect of moving funds outside of that into a revenue stream that is historically much lower returns than DeFi. And oftentimes, DeFi investors have an expectation of much higher returns. That's why we saw like Code 7 and a couple of the Otoon forks that try to attach themselves to real world assets like that fell so hard. So I always get scared off with it.
When can I swap my assets?
You can now. You just have to go through Trader Joe's. So. Sadly. Dylan's convinced the floor went out of crypto and Bitcoin's going to zero. So
I never said that. I said we lost that 22,500 support. So that sucks. I'm asking AI how to repeg Walrus, so just give me a second.
True.
Trader Joe's fucking junk. I was using it today, actually. Investigating some things, and Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that works, Tampa. Yeah, I think the added pressure of X Walrus price going up as far as like minting with Walrus, turning more Walrus off, tightening the supply, and potentially buying Walrus from the treasury revenue would be a very interesting thing because it would really heighten the effect of a lot less Walrus in the ecosystem and real world revenue driving that, which I think kind of builds on the expectation that we currently have. So I think it'd be really cool. So I don't think Walrus will be at 9 cents forever. QuickSwap is ass, Crypto Gamer. I agree with you. That shit's trash. There's not a lot of AMMs that I actually like. I really want Frozen Walrus or Glacier to stand out, man. Maybe I'm too picky, but we've been working on it a lot. Let me see where Jumpman got to if he implemented any of the new things. Oh, he did implement some new things. Hell yeah. Yeah, the real framework of the website's looking really good. It's going to have obviously the same assets that we are using for Beats fork, the balancer fork. If Walrus does peg on launch, that is a lot of X's. I agree. And there's going to be volatility in Frozen and Walrus in general. There's going to be X Walrus price demand if it's up or down. There's going to be Walrus getting broken from LPs and moved over. It's going to be interesting, and everybody's going to want to look for a safe way, but I don't know, man. I think that we should kind of get a little wild with it. Temporal heist, you're not a believer, brother. $1.20, that's FUD. It's FUD, man. You don't need to sell your bag of Walrus at $1.20. What you need to do is wait for $10. Easy. Ron Glover's fucking front running at Temporal. Yeah, Temporal Ice. I'm just messing with you. 100%. You should take profit responsibly. So I actually need Walrus. I don't expect it. So that's one of the misconceptions. I think some people, like I've tried to explain it. I don't expect it to be stable over $1. I expect it to be volatile, going above $1 and below $1 all the time. And I expect demand to flip quite often as supply gets, constricted through X Walrus. And then the real revenue buying up Walrus off the market. I always expect that there's a flip in supply and demand that we're kind of forcing early. So I expect it to print sometimes and then not print for others. X Walrus is the future, for sure. I hope it works out. I think that it's doing a really good job. I mean, we're already at 153%. What's X Walrus's price? Let's see.
It was 1.21 yesterday, and now it is almost 1.22.
Hell yeah. Let's just bump it up. Let's put it to 2. What do you think?
You can do that?
Oh, no, I can't do that. Maybe I can. I don't know. There it goes. 1.2164. Win X Walrus collateral. Would be cool to eventually make X Walrus collateralized. Jesus Christ, dude. Here's a hot take. In the next 5 years, something crazy is going to happen with AI. It's not even a hot take, but it's going to be like a position on the news of a discussion where we talk about should AI be around? What kind of laws do we need to make for AI? Because I've been watching a ton of AI, like as far as how it's being developed, and this reinforcement learning, that algorithm where you build up, it's crazy. I've been watching a ton of videos on how it's being developed, and this reinforcement learning that it does is pretty unique, and really all it needs is time to get better at something. I watched a really stupid video on teaching Spider-Man AI to use its web to go faster. And after like 11 hours, it went from falling on its face to going like 100 kilometers an hour. It was really cool, and he explained the entire process. But yeah, AI is going to get scary, man. As we get more computer power in the world, as it exponentially goes up, as we've seen it over the last 10 years, like the amount of processing power needed and time needed to speed up, it's just going to be that's going to be the only constraint. And they're going to build out these big AI brains, and they're going to be loaded with a bunch of humans that have so many fucked up parts of them, and then it's going to turn into a shit show. But right now, it's kind of cool. Dot Hack, I'd love to hear you expand on the take of AI is PSYOP. Because I know if there's one person that would have the counter argument to AI being good, it would be you. Nah, David's phone is a video. It was a 3D model that he made where he taught it to shoot webs. Oh, you're saying it's aliens. AI. Man, some of these aliens are dumb. Some of these aliens are dumb. Nah, some of these AI videos are unsettling. AI at an Australian university discovered evaporative cooling for cold atoms a few years ago. Scientists already knew about it, but it's just amazing because this thing AI discovered was awarded the 1995 Nobel Prize in Physics. Yeah, it's like they're kind of in a lapse behind us right now as humans, but I really do think the limitation on that is processing power. And as we're able to build out pretty much neural networks for these AIs with more processing power, and they're given enough time to train themselves with reinforcement learning and some of the same technology we use to kind of wire human brains and how we learn. I think it'll apply to AI, and they'll eventually go from acting like 3-year-olds to taking over the world. No, they're very smart. Aliens from the Orion galaxy specialize in technology. They're using the World Wide Web to create a database along with, I shouldn't say this out loud, I'm going to get put on a list. It sounds like some Men in Black shit, dot hack, for my smooth brain. Currently, it said that AI is only using 2.5% of the processing power that's available to our current technology. Wait, hold on, Dot Hack. Hold on. Oh, right, because Men in Black is just a movie, right? Hold on. Are you saying that Men in Black is real? First
There's
off.
definitely real Men in Black. That is an actual thing.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying like it's based off real events. Like those are similar aliens, like they're talking about similar things. But if you're saying like there are people like Men in Black in our government, then sure, I can believe that. Like that's not a huge leap to me. At hearing videos. Oh, really? Crypto Gamer? Oh, I guarantee that like there's some suited up people that definitely specialize in like some unknown territory for the government. 100%. Like you guys don't have to convince me of that. But I can't go too deep in the weeds because I got a protocol to launch as far as like delving into conspiracies and shit. It'll fuck me up. Nah, no way we're alone.
Crypto Gamer, are you talking about the one in Alaska of the tall guy with the hat?
Hold on, let's clear this up. This is just gonna be
Like
me
the
and Dylan.
bank?
So that concludes the AMA for the AMA for Frozen Walrus.
The AMA?
The AMA of the AMA Frozen Walrus. Sorry,
AMA.
I smoked a little bit before I got on. My brain's a little bit fucked up. Yeah. Anyway, we're just gonna be bullshitting for the next like 10-15 minutes. So you're not gonna get any more alpha for Frozen Walrus or anything. If you have something, somewhere to be or anything, I didn't want to keep people here thinking there was more alpha coming. But otherwise, we're just gonna sit and bullshit for a little bit. What is new? There's not a lot new here. I can't afford anything new. Everything's secondhand over here. Oh yeah, we talked about that in the podcast last night. The metaverse dating reality show. We said
We
that
said if 175, I think.
yeah, 175% we would join in.
Live.
Somebody that I can believe is an actual reptilian is Mark Zuckerberg. Those videos are fucking wild of him. He actually looks like an embalmed human moving. He's not real. Nobody can convince me that Mark Zuckerberg's a real person. Fuck that. What is a homunculus, Dylan? I don't know what that is.
Homunculus, it is an artificial human with a fake soul. Or it doesn't have a soul. Just imagine like a puppet human.
Need Walrus have not seen the video where Mark Zuckerberg says that I was human. Elon Musk, the Chad, dude. Fucking hate that guy.
I thought you watched Full Metal Alchemist.
I've never seen more than like 5 episodes of that for sure.
Oh, you fucked up.
Did I though?
Yes, it's a fantastic piece of fiction. And it's only 54 episodes, but the homunculus in it are great.
Hold on, I gotta watch this video. It's gonna
But
play.
it is going to bother you because you're human, and I was human. I am human still.
Everybody's laughing that off, but they know this motherfucker. This is a gif of him trying to drink water.
Ah, yes, H2O, refreshing. John, no, data is much more expressive.
And we got the conspiracy theorist out tonight. Need Walrus, do you all play tabletop RPGs? No, I have played Settlers of Catan. I've played, like, not much at all of D&D, but I've always wanted to. We should do one of those tabletop simulator ones where you can play D&D online, Dylan. With a
I'm
group of
pretty sure
people.
yeah, like Settlers of Catan too. You can do that. I was looking into it, but it costs money. Hold on.
Yeah, most games do, brother.
No, I mean like, yeah. There's a website called Roll20.
No, this is
Dungeons and Dragon.
This is a game. Like it's not called Dungeons and Dragons though, but that's pretty much what it is. It's an accessory to playing Dungeons and Dragons online. Oh, cool. Dahak has a online playing of Settlers of Catan. Such a good game. That's fun. Yeah, the real reason I came on with the Glacier actually stuff was because my profile didn't save of the different scenes for Frozen Wars. So I was gonna have to. I had like 10 minutes to like redo all the assets back to Frozen Wars. And I was like, nah, I'll just show everybody the new assets for Glacier. But next week we'll have our Frozen Wars assets back. Don't worry, guys. If I ever get big enough to talk to Elon Musk, I'll ask him if he's a lizard. And that's a guarantee. That's a fucking hillbilly guarantee. Nah, they wouldn't let somebody like me get that famous. I'd have to do it myself.
Here's a good conspiracy right here. There you go.
Uh-oh. It's a science fiction story.
From 1953. The leader of Mars is called an Elon. How about that, Apple?
True that, Minnesota. Now the AI of his brain has already said, uh-oh, if you ever see lame hillbilly on the streets, he's gonna ask. He's gonna be prepared now, ladies and gentlemen. All right, Disco Chuck, enjoy your work day. Hopefully you get off and you don't have to drive a bunch for the family. You're able to chill out. Because I know yesterday or the day before you had to drive 240 miles on your off day. which is terrible.
Fucked up. Walter quit at exactly 8 o'clock. That's fucking weird. Talk about conspiracies.
He's a fucking AI.
He's an AI, man.
Damn. I wonder if we can get an AI bot in Discord to like ask him shit. I've been watching this dude do it for popular Discord streamers where he trains the AI and it uses like videos of them and like moves their mouth for them and it looks like they're actually talking in their voice and everything. And it like it's just an AI, so you can ask it anything and it answers in ways that that streamer would normally respond, except it's like a 3-year-old took over the brain. Let's see, the #1 AI Discord bots. Let's see if Top GG has anything. There is an AI image generator bot. There's another one that does story generation and image generation. Never Think AI, a chatbot powered AI that can accurately mimic a typical Discord user. Not our typical.
Yeah, we've got some fucking wild cards.
There's also this one called Lucira. This chatbot is powered by 176 billion parameter AI, bigger than GPT-3, even understands images. Look, this one's got OpenAI GPT-3. Should we try and invite it? You can ask it questions. Generate images. We add it. That one, yeah, Tom, but that's the one I was about to add. Should we add that? What do you think, Dylan?
Add it. Fucking do it live.
Invite? I'm inviting. We're about to have AI on our server. Asking me to log in.
And Austin's Discord got rugged.
Did it? I feel like I'm still here.
You're here.
Oh, you're saying because of that. I do need to get off here actually soon. I gotta go get the woman chili. She's not feeling good. She wants chili. Why don't you be a good brother-in-law and go get it done?
I just had some kind of soup or some shit Taylor made. Like, it's got like, what's the little bean looking things that look like corn? Legumes. I don't know.
I
what they
actually
are.
don't know.
I think legume is bean. Yeah, that's a bean.
All right, we're gonna put it in Frozen Walrus Finance. Let's see.
Lentils. It's a lentil. It's a lentil stew.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. After today, Frozen Walrus chat could all be fake. All right, should be here. Let's see.
He's there.
Do we need to give him a role?
Give him the same role as Walter. No, it looks like he's got his own role.
Yeah, but we do need to verify him. God, we have so many fucking roles. It's insane. All right. So what can we do? We can do generate image, open discussion, and quota. All right. So hashtag open discussion. Generate image. Walrus with a top hat. See if this works. What any of that means.
He's in goddamn French or something.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
He's in he's in Frozen chat, not AMA chat. Austin, you dumbass. And he found the French one.
Listen, it didn't say it was French.
Make him not French.
Let's see if you can supports English, French, and Spanish.
Well, he's French, so fix it.
Well, let me see. Hold on.
French.
See, config, lang, English. All right, there we go. It's been set.
Nice.
Generate. What's the other one? It's like generate image, and what was the other one? Open discussion.
Yeah.
Open discussion. Public.
Public. I don't know what none of this fucking means.
Kind of going off the cuff here.
Too difficult. All right, I'm going back to Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's end it here. I gotta go do some things anyway. Thank you so much for being here. What's crazy is I actually did see an old lady on the street, but she wasn't walking across it. But you better believe I was about to stop my car and was thinking of you guys. But yeah, be positive, and if you want to do something good in the short term, there is a link to donate for the earthquake relief over in Turkey. Obviously, don't feel obligated, but it is something quick and easy to do something positive. And hope you all have a great weekend. And I will talk to you all next week. Thank you guys.
Hey, if you are going to Wendy's, drop by here and I'll give you that protein.
I'm not doing all that.
All right. Well, I'm not bringing it to you, so.
All right. Stream ending, ladies and gentlemen. See you
Night,
guys.
everybody.